Welcome to the Scott Townsend Show, brought to you by Dietzo Man Productions.
Hey, this is Scott Townsend, and you're listening to the Scott Townsend Show. And today I am trying something very different, and this is just a practice in speaking without notes, extemporaneously, if I can even say that, and just going on for, I don't know, however long it takes, probably a couple of minutes. But the subject today is about podcasting and why I started the Scott Townsend Show podcast / vidcast. So where to start? So podcasting, recording conversations, interviewing is something I've enjoyed for, all my life. When I was little, my dad had a Bell and Howell tape recorder, little microphone, and I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years old. And I would interview my brothers, and they would act like they're different people from TV. I remember one time we did one where one of us was Roger Staubach, and so we would just play with the tape recorder and interview each other, and then I just kept doing that through school and recording radio shows like the CBS Radio Mystery Theater, and recording records on the tape recorder. And went into radio, TV, film at KU, and then radio, TV, film at OSU. Finished off with a journalism degree there at OSU. And it's always been about movie making, storytelling, just recording video, audio all my life. So after we talked about doing a podcast when I was at ABB, and Jill McGee and I had talked about it for a long time, and we were all busy doing something else and doing other things, and podcasting was just another idea I should have done it. And actually I did do it. We recorded 2 or 3 episodes, but then the layoff happened with COVID and low oil prices in February, March, April. So I found myself at home and with a lot of time on my hands. So I decided to try a legit podcast. I mean, really put everything into it. And the purpose being to show potential employers what I could do as far as creating content, marketing, interviewing skills, editing video, shooting video, everything you got to do to create a podcast, vidcast. Oh, and then learning the platforms. Like I post these podcasts to Buzzsprout, which then distributes the audio to all the iTunes and iHeartRadio and TuneIn and Spotify, Stitcher. And so I had to learn that platform. And then I uploaded so I'll record the audio using Camtasia. So I had to learn all about Camtasia video and audio editing software. And I'll create the audio a little bit differently than the video. The video I will upload to YouTube. And so I created a YouTube channel, and I mean, a lot went into it. I had a cover art made. I hired people through Fiverr to do different, like a theme song and the cover art for YouTube. Angie Jordan did the logo, which I greatly appreciate. And so then you've got to find guests. So there's a huge learning curve in all of this. And so my point back to what I was wanting to show potential employers, it's kind of like auditioning out in front of everybody, letting people see and hear what I was able to produce and create. Hopefully interesting stories. Not every story is going to be 100%, but you got to throw stuff out there. So I would read books and interview authors I first started off by interviewing those people that I know, particularly through LinkedIn. And then as I read, I thought, I need to set my sights. I should shoot for the stars, as far as interviewing guests. So I reached out to Tammy Jo Schultz, the book Nerves of Steel. Reached out to Dan Cockrell, Vice President of Disney's Magic Kingdom, about his book, How's the Culture in Your Kingdom? And other people. So whether it's my friend I've known for 40 years or an author, or, just as long as I can find people who are interesting and entertaining, and I feel like my audience can learn something from, then that's going to be a good guest for me. I'm working on episode 15 right now, and that'll be Drew McClellan's interview. Really good interview about marketing. Your brand is not your logo. So I'm trying to think of what to say now. I'm doing this all without notes or just off the cuff. So the job hasn't materialized yet, but I think I'm getting good exposure. I post this on all the social media channels: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Did I say that? And so just trying to show people what I can do, and so what I can do for them. So if any of you guys out there are looking for someone to produce a podcast for you, I would love the chance to do that. So I call it my experiment. So I try to increase or improve the podcast every episode with either, and I need to quit saying so each episode has I'm onto my third theme song version of the same theme song. Credits. The hardest part of the whole podcast actually is writing the descriptions and for YouTube and for Buzzsprout. But I try to post a lot of content in the descriptions, giving links to things that were mentioned, topics during the discussion with the guest. Just a lot of information that would help you if you were wanting to do a deeper dive into that subject. And it's really hard to talk without saying all the time. That's what I'm practicing here. Continuing to learn, to apply what I learn, and improve every day, bit by bit. So the podcast has been the podcast/vidcast. Vidcast goes on YouTube. Podcast goes on the podcast platforms. Has been a great learning experience for me. I've met a lot of incredible people. And now, even if no one is interested in using me to help produce a podcast, I think at this point, I want to keep doing it just because I love doing it so much. It's very challenging, but meeting the people and having good discussions, learning things, and sharing that knowledge with like my LinkedIn network, everybody, all my friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, plus just organic searches out there where people will stumble across the video or the podcast and learn something. There's a lot of, another reason I wanted to do this is because when COVID started and everybody was starting to get laid off, people getting laid off, needed to be some good news and some help out there. So hopefully with each podcast and video, it's good information that you can use that you can apply at your place of business, personally, professionally. Hopefully there's some good value there. So that's it. That's my extemporaneous, the theme is, why did I start a podcast? And I've kind of jumped into something here that I think I'll continue for, I hope, quite a while. But I can't think too long term. I just have to take the next step. The next step is episode 15 this week. And I try to post all these episodes every Friday. I don't try, I do post. I post on Fridays. So 15. Then I've got Jonathan Horowitz with Vidyard. He'll be next week. And then I'm looking for some other guests. Haven't confirmed anybody yet. So I've got about 2 more weeks of interviews to share with you guys. And I know I'm just rambling here, so you can turn me off anytime you want. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for, we have 41 subscribers on YouTube. I think that's great. On Buzzsprout, we're into 14 episodes and we've got 130 downloads. This might sound like chump change to a lot of you out there, but for me, it's a great start. And I appreciate all of you guys that have watched, listened, commented, subscribed, liked, all that stuff. Thanks for making this experiment. So far, it's been successful, I think. If you're listening to this, watching, leave your comments. Let me know, what do you think about it? Is it something you find worthwhile? Is it crap? Are there suggestions for improvement? I'd love to hear that. But anyway, for all of you guys, for all of my guests in the past that have helped make this successful, this experiment successful, thanks to all of you guys, and thanks for watching and listening to the Scott Townsend Show. We'll check you later.
The Scott Townsend Show is a Dietzo Man production. For more episodes, visit the Scott Townsend Show YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
The Scott Townsend Show.